This is the weather satellite Tyros. The sound you hear is the sound of Tyros as it circles the Earth at 18,000 miles an hour. And one of these men was directly responsible for its creation. What is your name, please?
My name is Herbert Butler.
What is your name, please?
My name is Herbert Butler.
What is your name, please?
My name is Herbert Butler.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Herbert Butler and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Camel Cigarettes. And now let's meet our panel. First, Miss Polly Bergen. Next, Mr. Don Ameche. Then Miss Kitty Carlisle. And finally, Mr. Tom Poston. Now, panel, will you please follow along with your copies of this first affidavit as I read it? I, Herbert Butler, am a civilian scientist for the United States Army Signal Research and Development Laboratory. For the past 2 years, I have been directing the creation of an electronic weather observation satellite. On April 1st, this satellite was lofted into orbit and with its television cameras is now transmitting back to Earth pictures of the Earth's cloud cover. As project manager, I am the man directly responsible for the building of the weather satellite Tyros. Signed, Herbert Butler. So, panel, with one of these gentlemen all claiming to be Herbert Butler, designer of our weather satellite, that was a good sentence, with one of them all claiming to be. However, you know what I mean. Let's begin this questioning with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. I read a little something about it. I guess everyone did. Mr. Butler, number 2, could you tell me at what speed Tyros, is that right, Tyros?
Tyros,
revolves when it first goes into orbit?
420 miles an hour.
What speed does it actually rotate? Number 1, Mr. Butler, number 1?
It's rotating at 10 revolutions an hour now, Mr. Poston.
Thank you. Number 3, what slows down Tyros when it first gets up into orbit?
A slowdown mechanism was actually built into the satellite to slow it down.
Number 2, Mr. Butler, number 2, what is that device?
It's a pair of fins that come out. There was 3 sections, 1, 2, 3, and they spin around thusly. On the bottom, you'll notice here.
Number 3, please. Is there anything else that would tend to slow Tyros down?
The magnetic field might tend to slow it down.
Polly, before I ask you to start questioning, Polly, may I say, I guess I stand corrected. Tyros is the correct pronunciation. I was told this afternoon it was Tyros, and that's why I mispronounced
Mr. Butler.
Well, in any event, Tyros, Tyros.
Which
Polly?
one did you ask that question?
May I answer? Number 2.
Oh, thank you.
Polly.
Number 1, exactly how far away from the Earth is Tyros circling?
Approximately 400 miles.
400 miles?
That's right.
Away from Earth. Number 2, is that correct?
It varies between 422 to 466.
I see. Number 3, does Russia have a weather satellite in orbit now?
Not to my knowledge.
What did I say? Number 1, isn't it true that Russia released some pictures from a so-called satellite? Was this a weather satellite, number 1?
No, this was a satellite that was designed to take pictures on the far side of the moon.
Don Ameche.
Number 2, how many stages were there to this rocket?
3.
Sent this?
3.
3. Number 3, what were the varying speeds when the different stages disintegrated?
I couldn't really give you those.
Number 1?
I couldn't answer that.
Number 2?
I couldn't.
Number 2, how long was this Tyros or Tyros, is it? Tyros?
I don't know.
How long was Tyros
into it anymore?
How long was Tyros in development?
2 years.
Number 3?
2 years.
Number 1?
2 years.
Number 1, what is the biggest advantage to do with Tyros?
Well, this, for the first time, gives the meteorologists an opportunity to study weather from above the clouds.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number one, one of the cameras went out on Tyros or Tyros. Can you tell me what caused it to go out?
Well, actually, it didn't go out. There was a slight bit of malfunctioning, and they're still taking pictures.
Number two, is this correct?
That is true.
Number three, can you tell me what is the speed of sound?
1,000 feet per second,
And what is the speed of light?
186,000 miles per second.
Number two, what is the speed of light?
He gave the answer.
And number one, what is the speed of light?
186,000 miles per second.
Just 186,000?
Miles per second.
Number two, what is the meaning of Tyros?
It stands for television, infrared, orbit,
Satellite.
Thank you, John.
Well, I said that's what I was waiting for. Thank you, Mr. Signalman. And the time is gone now for any further questioning, so will you please mark your ballot. It is time to vote without consultation. And will you select in your voting number 1, number 2, or number 3? Team of challengers, of course, as is our custom, will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Everybody voted?
Yeah, I haven't, Bud.
Will you? Okay. All right. Polly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 3. He got very sharp toward the end, and I noticed that number 2, as a matter of fact, didn't even sort of have the courage to repeat his mileage on the speed of light and sound. It was very difficult. They all did a marvelous job of learning facts and everything. It was hard to pin them down, but I have a very strong feeling it's number 3.
Okay, Don?
Yes, I voted for number 2. I voted for number 2 because of my vast knowledge of research to do with this hero here. I'm quite certain his questions were all fine.
And what about your vote,
I voted for number 3. I'm convinced neither one of them is the real Mr. Butler, because I read somewhere that the speed of sound, the speed of light, is 186,300 miles. And nobody said that.
Well, you wanted that extra 300 miles. Huh?
Yes, I did. However, I believed it was number 3.
Okay. Tom?
Well, sort of complicated reasons for this. It really involves the fact that number 1 said that it revolved at the rate of 10 revolutions per hour. Now, 10 is the right number, but it's per minute, I think. However, I wasn't able to get the answers to some of my other questions, even from number 3. There are also weights that are
That's the first time, I believe, that our signalman has ever cut anyone off in giving the reasons for their voting, but I guess they got impatient to find out.
Put up with it if I were you, Tom.
I wouldn't either if I were you. All right, let's figure this all out now and find out how right or wrong we are in our votes as we discover which one of these 3 distinguished gentlemen is the real designer of our weather satellite. Will the real Herbert Butler please stand up? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I must say that anyone that's involved with an important project like that, this is a great responsibility, and it's a privilege to have you on the show with us.
Thank you very much.
Number 1, should tell us who you really are and what you actually do.
My name is Charles Allahan, and I'm the Eastern Sales Representative for the Sweden Freezer Company of Seattle, Washington, and we are makers of ice cream equipment.
Which at certain times of the year puts people in orbit, I know. Number 2, your real name and what you do, please.
My name is Edwin Pape. I work for the Manufacturers Trust Company in New York. I'm an investigator.
Well, you all investigated mighty well, but there were 3 sharp members of our panel. It's too late for a postmortem, Polly.
I just wanted to ask the gentleman so that we would all know the exact
Oh,
pronunciation
yes, thank you.
of the word.
Thank you. What is the correct pronunciation?
Tyros.
Thank you,
Preferred
sir.
pronunciation.
I was...
And what about the speed of sound?
I still think it's 1,000 feet per second, but I could
light.
be wrong.
What
Light.
about light?
I
But
did
don't
say
I get
186,000 miles per second.
That's
is what
I
I
don't
said.
get my 300
She wants
miles
the extra 300. He got a bargain on this thing.
Yeah.
You paid 300 miles more. Checking the score, we found there was 1 incorrect vote at $250 from Camels and a carton of Camels for each of you on the way out. Thank you very much for being with us. Good night, gentlemen. Now, panel, let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Raymond Rouseleau.
What is your name, please?
My name is Raymond Rouseleau.
What is your name, please?
My name is Raymond Rouseleau.
Will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit, please? I, Raymond Rouseleau, am a professional wrestler. I was born in France and studied law for 2 years at the Sorbonne in Paris. Although I work full-time as a secretary at a major American university, I wrestle on the average of 2 nights a week. In the 4 years since I started my professional wrestling career, I have had more than 250 bouts. Signed, Raymond Rouseleau. Here we have 3 ladies. You heard them all claiming to be Raymond Rouseleau, wrestler. Let's start this round of questioning with Polly Bergen. Polly?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, what's a hammerlock?
Hammerlock is when you take the arm of your opponent and put it in the back, and she cannot get
I see.
rid
Number
of it.
2, do you agree with that?
Yes, that's right.
Number 3?
Yes.
Is that correct? Number 1, what is the, how do you win in wrestling? I mean, they don't count you out. How do you win?
Oh, I think they count out.
And number 2, how do you win in wrestling?
You can count out, or you can win by falls.
Number 3, what do the falls consist of? In other words, how would you count? You mean the first time a person falls?
It depends on a match. If it's a single match, you win when you have 1 fall. On a double match.
Don Ameche, please.
Number 2, name me 4 streets in the Étoile.
Avenue de la Grande Armée.
4 streets on the Étoile.
You 4 streets?
Go into the Étoile.
Rue Tilsit, Rue de Presbourg.
Number 3?
I don't think I know.
Number 1?
Avenue de la Grande Armée and Champs-Élysées.
2 more?
And Wagram and...
Number 2, what is the extension of Champs-Élysées on the other side?
Quickly.
Avenue de la Grande Armée.
Kitty Carlisle.
Number 1, what is a half Nelson?
It's very difficult to explain.
Number 2, what is a half gainer?
You only gain half.
I can't explain either.
Number 3, what kind of shorthand do you take when you're a secretary?
Prévôt de l'eau in French.
But you don't do any English.
No, I don't.
No. Number 1, what college are you at? Excuse me for putting the preposition at the end.
Right now where I work?
Yes.
At University of Chicago.
Tom Poston.
Number 1. Who was the greatest ballerina ever to dance with Roland Petit?
Zizi Jeanette?
Do you really think so? Number 2, do you agree with that?
Yes, that's right.
Number 3?
I do.
Really? Number 3, how do you pronounce Mr. Julius in French?
Mr. Julius?
No, I mean the French, Mr. Julius.
What do you mean? How to pronounce it with the
Say
French
it in
accent?
French. Say
No,
it in
there
French.
must be a Mr. corresponding word for Mr. in French.
Corresponding word for Mr.
Oh, monsieur.
And Julius?
Jules, I guess.
Thank you.
I guess that's it. Mesdames et messieurs, we have come to our moment of truth. L'heure de vérité. And we are about to find out which one of these 3 equally charming ladies is the real lady in question who is a wrestler. Will the real Raymond Rouseleau?
Wait, we have to vote first.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you to stand up without voting and everything else. How about that? I got so intrigued with the French involved, I didn't. So, yes, mark your ballots. Wow, did that nearly go out the window. Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Pavel. Polly, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 1, mainly because number 3 couldn't name any of the streets. And number 2 didn't say that a half gainer has nothing to do with wrestling. It's a dive. So, a swimming dive, I mean. And, so I voted for number, isn't it?
Wouldn't it be a marvelous name for a saloon?
Yeah, a half gainer.
Half gainer.
I voted for number one because of that.
Okay, Don, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number one. My reasons were exactly the same as Polly's.
Mine were very clear.
Well, that's what I thought.
You're in the same
I
boat.
asked the
Yes,
question
Kitty.
about the half gainer, but I voted for number two because I felt that maybe I forgave her because she was French, but she did know that on the other side of the Étoile it became the Avenue de la Grande Armée, and she knew the Rue de Presbourg. The number three didn't know any of the streets in Paris. And she also has short hair, and I figure if you're going to wrestle, maybe somebody could catch a hold of your hair. So
Gorgeous George has long hair.
But he's not a woman. Women catch a hold of each other's hairs
Tom,
when they
would you
go
like to
men.
vote?
Listen, I'd like to ask number three if she'd care to re-answer that question.
No, you better go on and
I
vote first.
suspected maybe number three, but I voted for number one anyway. For the same reason.
Okay, there we have it now. Let's discover. Let's go to the point now where I was 3 minutes ago and find out. Thanks again, Polly, for saving my life. Which one of these three charming ladies is the real professional wrestler? So with the real Raymond Rouseleau, please stand up. Thank you very much. Now, number two, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Bernadette Desobliaux, and I work for the French delegation.
Thank you very much. And number three, your real name and what you do, please.
I am Anne Derieux, and I am an interior decorateur.
Thank you very much. Only before I tell you what you did this evening, let's see, there were 1, 2, 3 correct votes and only one incorrect vote. Same voting as last time at $250 from Camels and a carton of Camel cigarettes for each of you. Thank you, ladies. I hope you enjoyed your visit to us. We certainly enjoyed having you here. Good night and good luck. And now, panel, let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Lester B. Dill.
What is your name, please?
My name is Lester B. Dill.
What is your name, please?
My name is Lester B. Dill.
Another affidavit, panel. Follow along, if you will. I, Lester B. Dill, am a caveologist. I have explored more than 1,000 caves from Canada to Venezuela and have visited every major cave in the United States. I currently own and operate as tourist attractions a chain of 12 caves, including Onondaga Cave, which was reputedly discovered by Daniel Boone, and Merrimack Caverns, formerly a hideout for Jesse James and his gang. Signed, Lester B. Dill. Three gentlemen all claiming to be caveologists. Lester B. Dill, cave owner and caveologist. Let's start this with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Number one, what is a speleologist?
A speleologist is a very educated person who investigates caves. A spelunker is someone who just goes there for fun.
Uh-huh. Number two, can you tell me what is a stalactite? Which way does it go, I mean?
It's a rock that hangs down from the top.
And what is a stalagmite?
One that comes up from the bottom.
Number three, can you tell me where those caves, where all those glowworms live? And they.
Yes, that's in Venezuela. Glowworm Cave.
Tom?
Number three? You gay dog, you. There is a famous cave called Old Mountain. Old Mountain. Is the opening cold or very warm?
That is comparatively cold, yes.
Cold opening in Old Mountain? Okay. Number two, please. Who operates the caves in Missouri?
There's quite a number of caves in Missouri, several operators. There's a total of, I think, about 2 dozen.
Yeah. Number one, I'll go on. I won't
Polly?
go on.
Number one, there's a very famous cavern in Ohio. Could you tell me the name of that?
Crystal.
Number two, there is an equally famous cavern in Tennessee. Could you give me the name of that?
Ruby Falls.
Number three, could you give me the name of the famous cavern in Tennessee?
Big Bone.
Number one. I beg your pardon, sir?
Big Bone.
Thank
Living
you.
up to the gay dog,
Yes.
you know, the big bone.
Number one. Some of these. What is the name of the largest cavern ever discovered in the United States?
Mammoth Caves in Kentucky.
Number two. Where is Mammoth Caves?
Don Ameche.
Number two, what causes caves?
They're dissolved out by water through underground streams and solution.
Number three?
Well, that's partially correct. Also, they're formed by limestone formations, which are further eroded by falling water and by underground streams.
Number one, would you name me two caves in Kentucky?
Mammoth and Bear Cave.
Number two, would you...
That's it. It's time to vote once again, panel. So will you kindly, with your vast knowledge of spelunking, mark your ballots. And as you do so, vote, of course, for number one, number two, or number three. Okay, has everybody voted? No. Not yet? All set, Tom? Everybody
Yes, I am.
Okay, Molly, whom did you vote this time?
I haven't voted yet, sir.
Oh, sorry.
I wanted so badly to get all three right tonight, but I just haven't any idea which one it is. I voted for number three because...
You did?
Well, actually, it's none of your business why I voted.
It's leopard, not mink. Don, your
And I
vote,
wish
please.
it were color television because he's got such a beautiful shade of red. Doesn't he? Look.
Shade of red, did you say?
Red. Look
I
at his
see.
face. He's very attractive.
I voted for number three, Bud, because I haven't voted for number three lately.
Good sound reasoning. Kitty, which one did you vote for?
Well, I voted for number two, but I think it's number one because he knew all about speleologists, and I think number two said the wrong cave in Tennessee to please Polly, and I think number three isn't a serious enough fella to run those caves the way he's dressed.
And finally,
He's
Tom.
gonna kill the
Tom, your
wardrobe.
vote, please.
No, I voted for number one. I couldn't vote
I think
for...
you're right.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, we'll trade. I'll take number two. I couldn't vote for number three because Old Mountain, as you know, is notoriously warm, the opening, and he said that it was notoriously cold. How does he know, right? So I voted for number one because he did know a lot of stuff about it.
All right, there we have it now. The votes are in and our minds are made up. I hope yours are at home. And we come to that moment of truth I referred to before in the confused way. And let's discover which one of these gentlemen is the real caveologist and cave owner. So will the real Lester B. Dill please stand up? Thank you, sir, very much. Number one, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, sir?
My name is Bill Barrett, and I'm an attorney from Augusta, Georgia.
Just for funny, you ever been down in a cave?
No.
Never? Number three, your real name, you gay dog, you, and what you really do.
My name is Tom Noel. I'm a freelance writer of jazz articles.
Well, you all did very well. Yes, a real good sport. He certainly is. Let's check up on the score here and see how well we did. We had only one guessing the right one, so that meant three wrong this time. At $250 each for a total of $750 in Camels. That's the best killing tonight, gentlemen. Hope you had fun. On your way out, there will be, of course, a carton of Camel cigarettes for each of you. And good night. Thanks for being with us, and good luck to you. Now, panel, it's time to vote. So good night.
Good night.
Bud Carl, you're saying good night, and Camel cigarettes reminding you to tell the truth. Good night.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Walton production. in association with the CBS Television Network. That's Bergen's Wardrobe by Fashions in 4 Seasons, Knoxville.